Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we will be talking about Hotel Transylvania. Now, Hotel Transylvania starts off with Dracula trying to scare his baby daughter Melvis. Now, Dracula is a vampire, and he is building a place where him and Melvis can live and be safe from the humans. So he builds Melvis the hotel, and on her 18th birthday, she dreams of going outside to see the human world. But Drax doesn't want her to go because he believes that humans are bad. And also, we get Dracula's backstory, but that comes in later. So he tells Melvis that she can go and see the world and she can go outside. And so when all his friends and everybody comes in the hotel for Melvis's birthday, because it is her birthday, and and um everybody has come to celebrate with her. But before the celebration, she just wants to go. Melvis just wants to go look at the town, and she wants to stop by Paradise. Now, Paradise is where Dracula and his wife Martha met. And this is the year where Melvis actually gets to open up her mother's present for the first time, because the mother told Dracula, "Do not let Melvis open this until she is 18 years of age." And now she is the 1800th year of age. And back then, when Dracula was raising Melvis, he taught her how to fly, changed her diaper, played peekaboo with her. So he is a very protective daughter. He is very protective of his daughter. I am so sorry, I can't speak. He is very protective of his daughter. Keep this in mind as the movie goes on. So now that Melvis is 18 and 100, she is ready to go off and see the world. But Dracula tells the employees of Hotel Transylvania, the hotel for monsters, to act like humans. So they end up acting like humans and scaring Mavis, and she tells her dad that he was right all along. Humans are bad, and she will never leave the hotel ever again. But what I love about the doorknob, because the doorknob talks, the doorknob picks up what Dracula did. And he says, "I only had the employees be monsters so I could keep Melvis safe at the hotel, so she wouldn't get hurt there in the human world." But while guests are coming in, Johnny Well, Jonathan, a human boy, comes in from hiking. And he makes friends with all the monsters and Dracula says that he's a party planner, and Dracula dresses him up as a monster so no monsters knows that he is human. So now Johnny is Frankenstein's cousin twice removed because Dracula dressed him up like Frankenstein, and so now Johnny has to convince Frankenstein, Dracula's best friend, and his wife and all his other friends that Johnny is a monster, and he is also here to plan Melvis's party because he needed someone young. So before this even happened, Dracula told Johnny to get out, and he even tried to wipe his memory. But since he had his contacts in, he couldn't do it. And Johnny was about to take his contacts out. But Dracula said, don't remove the contacts. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dress you up as a monster, and you're gonna help me plan the party. And then when you are done helping me plan the party, you're gonna leave. And then he says a deal. But when Dracula puts him in charge of arranging the tables for the party, they end up chasing each other and having so much fun because the table moves because they are in a hotel full of monsters. So they end up chasing each other in the dining room on flying tables. And Dracula and him actually have a good time. And then Dracula starts laughing along with Johnny while they're chasing each other, and they keep cracking jokes at each other. It's a really sweet moment. But then Quasimodo, the chef for the party, who is also a monster, with Esmeralda, his pet rat, who helped him cook, smells that Johnny is a human. So he goes to cook Johnny, and he takes Johnny when Dracula isn't looking, right? So he takes him when Dracula isn't looking. Oh, and did I also tell you, while Johnny was helping planning the party, he actually helped get some better music for the party because Frankenstein was going to play a slow song, but Johnny spiced the playlist up a bit, and they made a rocking song for Melvis's birthday. So I guess by the opening, it was like a pre-party type thing because I guess they were going to celebrate the next day. So anyway, planning the party, he actually fixed the music list, and he was going to escape that night, like Dracula told him to, but then Melvis caught him, and then Melvis and him watch the sunset behind the building because Melvis can't be in the sun. So what Johnny did for her is he kneeled down beside her and he held her hand while they hide behind a trash can to watch the sunset. They had to hide because Melvis is a vampire and the sunlight burns her skin. So Melvis was like in Johnny's arms watching the sunset together. It was a really, really sweet moment. And even when Quasimodo the chef took Johnny, Melvis was looking for him. And she actually admitted to Dracula that she had the crush on Johnny, and all the other and all of Dracula's friends can see that Melvis and Johnny get along well. So Dracula is looking for him to make sure he's okay and safe from Quasimodo. So Dracula ends up catching Quasimodo, and he actually gets the mice that works in the restaurant to trap Quasimodo in some trance. Well, actually, Dracula does it himself, and Dracula tells him, "Thank you for saving me back there." And then, since Dracula likes Johnny, but he wants Melvis to be safe, we learn from a secret room that he kept locked off. He kept Martha in his room locked off for all these years because he couldn't go back in there because all he used to think about was his true love, Martha. So he kept it locked all these years. And he tells Johnny, a long time ago, we were around the humans. Okay, okay, I have to go back. Because I missed something. So, when Dracula shows him the room where Martha's portrait is, it turned out that Johnny has been to the castle where they tell the story of Martha and Dracula's love story. So, Johnny says, a long time ago, this vampire named Martha and her true love Drax, they were in love, and they had a child together. But legend says that they both died in a mysterious fire, and that the husband, he just waits and learns for his true love to return one day. So Dracula tells him the legend is true. She was destroyed, but not by a fire. She was destroyed by you humans. Because when I build the place for me and Melvis and Martha, we were just sitting here one night trying to get Melvis to go to sleep. And the humans were trying to burn down our house. So Dracula told Martha, "Go, love, I will take care of this." And while he was scaring the humans away, the humans found their way upstairs and hurt Martha, and she ended up passing away. But Melvis was safe, and he promised always, when Martha died, to protect Melvis from any humans or anything that would want to hurt her. And then it is here where Johnny finally understands what Dracula has been trying to do for Melvis. So he agrees with Jax that after the party is over, he will leave, but he will stay and join the party because Melvis wants him there. So after the party is over, Johnny agrees to leave. And so the next day is the party. And Melvis and Johnny are dancing, and then they almost kiss. But Dracula stops it. And then the rats from in the kitchen bring in Quasimodo. And then he tells on Drax. He tells everyone at Mavis's party that Dracula has got a human in here, and the rat uncovers Johnny's disguise as Johnny Stein, because that's what he was going as. For all the monsters' sake, he was going as Johnny Stein, as Jonathan, the human. So after Melvis finds this out, she's not mad at all. She actually says to Johnny, I don't care that you are human. I still want to be with you. And this is when Johnny says, well, I don't want to be with you. You're a monster and I hate monsters. So, knowing that he is human, everybody is mad at Dracula for lying to them. And Melvis runs off crying. And then Dracula ends up finding her on the roof, and she ends up crying. And it turned out that she opened the mom's present, and the mom actually wrote her story of the mother and the father's love story. And she actually told Melvis that her zing would come, because when vampires fall in love, they get a zing. And Melvis tells her father that Johnny was her zing. And now that he's gone, Melvis is just like her dad, sad and alone. And so she goes in her room to cry. But Dracula decides to get Johnny back. So he talks his friends into forgiving him. They forgive him, and then they say, let's all go get Johnny. So they travel to the human world, but not with some help from Woofy's kids. So Woof, one of the characters from in the movie, has a daughter, and she sniffs Johnny's shirt to find out where Johnny is. And she tells us that he is at the airport and he's about to get on a plane. So Johnny is there on a plane, but with the help from the villagers from outside, because they went into the sun. But Frankenstein put a hat over Dracula, so now he is walking in the sun. But since he's not near the sun, he's not burning up like he would. So that's why he's walking in the sun now, because at first I was confused. But this is only because he was on the ground and not really near the sun. So it turned out that Frankenstein gave him a hat, and then Frankenstein said to the people, if you people love monsters like you say you do in this celebration of monsters, can you help us? Drac's daughter is in love, and we need to clear the path so he can stop Johnny from going home. So everybody ends up clearing the path for Dracula. And it's just so cute because even the guy who was dressed as Dracula says, clear the path, he needs to get through. And then everybody just blocks the sun while Dracula walks in slow-mo to get to the airport. But it's already too late, so he actually flies up to the plane and hypnotizes the plane driver to give his apology to Jonathan. Jonathan accepts his apology, and then they turn the plane around, and then they go back to Hotel Transylvania, and then Dracula gives Melvis a backpack so she can travel, and Dracula says it comes with an accessory, and then he turns the backpack around and it's actually Johnny, and Melvis says, you came back, but you said you hated monsters. And then Johnny says, yeah, I came back because you're my zing, Melvis. And then Melvis says, I'm your zing. And then he says, you are. And then, even though she doesn't say it, I know she feels the same way. So he explains to Melvis that the only reason he said that is, the only reason he said he hated monsters was because he was afraid if he didn't say that Melvis's dad would suck all the blood out of him. And then Melvis says, Dad. And then Dracula admits that he was wrong. And then Johnny says, can we try that kiss again? And then Melvis says, I think we can. And so we fast forward to them kissing and celebrating Melvis's birthday, and we get the best song out of the whole movie, You're My Zing, completed with fireworks and completed with fireworks. And after the fireworks go off in the sky by the castle, we get the end logo. And that is the end of Hotel Transylvania. Bye, and see you guys in my next video. Bye.